I mean, first of all, thanks for inviting me to your gym once again. It's always a pleasure to chat with you anyway. I saw you go through the trenches, bro. You put Kenny through the trenches and you put yourself through the trenches. I mean, looking back at this session, because I felt exhausted just watching you guys. So, like, how are you feeling in terms of you motivating to, further train as well as training your brother as always?
Well, especially when you talk about, things like mental health is very important. And boxing is a big part. I was talking to someone earlier that boxing is a big part of mental health. And I know that. People know the things that I've been through in my life through other interviews and interviews with yourself. And, what I found is, especially over the last year, I've been dead in my inside, but not dead towards my profession. As in training my fighters, training Martin, George, Kenny, Deji. I haven't been dead to that because it's like, like a robot. It's just built to
go through everything, no hurt, no pain, nothing.
Exactly. So my mindset with that is always top. But personally, I haven't been feeling great. And I'm someone that's got a poker face, and I know how to hide that.
Yeah.
But I found it so hard to find myself for some reason over the last year or whatever. I mean, I know obviously I've got a borderline personality disorder, so that takes effect as well.
Of course. So part of that will be in effect.
Yeah. But I always kept asking myself, because every day what I kept doing is I kept going to sleep and I say tomorrow's going to be the day. Then I wake up and that day doesn't arrive, you know what I mean? And for some reason, I just woke up and I just started getting in the flow again. I've gone from 104 kilos down to 96.5
Congratulations,
kilos
man.
in 2 weeks.
Wow, amazing.
And people were saying, how do you do that? How do you do that? Well, I used to fight.
Yeah.
So
we know your background in professional
and
fighting.
I haven't starved
before.
myself or anything like that, because that's the wrong way to do things, even especially if you're boxers.
Yeah.
But what I've done is just stay away from the crap.
Okay.
The sugar, the chocolate sweets, the crisps, the fizzy drinks, the juice, and just stuck to my meals and made sure every day that I get something in for myself, because that's what I haven't been doing that.
So it's like you'll have like a cheat day, like I guess like to spoil yourself a bit, but then knowing you're getting back into the nutritional element and making sure you're on top of that then.
Yeah, and just making sure no matter what I'm doing and how busy I am with my fighters, that I take time for myself in the gym and look after myself. And it makes me perform to a higher level as well when I'm training the fighters,
Yeah.
So it's all round, everyone wins.
Because from what you're saying, it sounds like, because you put your all into your fighters. It's like you seem to be that selfless person that it's all about my fighters. I don't care what happens to me. But obviously now, because, you're putting yourself through the training, and I can see like, it must hit you sometimes in terms of like, wow, shit, I'm really getting back into it. But it's something you will still enjoy into doing, right? I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Because obviously bringing back the dead inside, like you were just talking about, is that bringing back the dead from inside doing it?
Yeah, because I feel alive within myself. You know what I mean? I'm more energy.
Yeah.
Waking up in a better mood, being at home with my family in a better mood. Just all round more happy, and it just made me think boxing's a very big part of my life.
Of course,
it runs deeper than just training people.
Yeah,
it's a part of me.
Yeah, boxing's inbred in you.
Yeah, and it's not that I want to fight again. I mean, if someone chucked a lot of money in front of my face, that's different.
Yeah,
I could have one last, just to show people that haven't seen me fight, because in my pro days, just to see me and what I'm like.
So to kind of see what it is in the now, how you were in the ring in all those times before getting into training, so they could see like, okay, not only is he a sick coach, but he can hold it in the ring as well.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, if I was to do that, I'd be a better fighter now than I was back then.
Because you had a lot of learning experience and obviously training and coaching.
Yeah,
and stuff.
I know more now.
Yeah.
So, and that's why I still get in the ring with them lot, you know, to do technical sparring and stuff like that.
Yeah, because you're active, not with working with Deji, working with Kenny, Martin, George, your fighters. So do you feel like, obviously, because you were saying to me earlier that, as much as I'm putting them through the trenches, it's only right that I go through it myself, so that it's, you're setting the standard, like you were telling me earlier.
Yeah, and I've always been like that.
Of course.
I mean, over the last probably year or so, I've been, silently, suffering, personally, but I've always been like that when I first became a professional boxing trainer. I don't want to be one of those coaches that just go, oh yeah, you just do the conditioning and I just sit back and shout orders. I want to feel what they're going through. Not only that, I need to test things out just so I know it's working. And then if they see their coach doing it, they've got no excuse not to do it, Yeah. How can they quit if I'm not quitting? You know what I mean?
And they're balancing out everything, so it's like, everyone's going through it. It's not just one person. Like,
and
you are doing it as well. So.
Yeah, and I'm such a simple guy, man. Like in my life, I'm a homely person. Like being at home, and I'm a simple guy as in that. Obviously, we all need money in life. I want my family to be secure, but I also know what's going on in the world as well. And there's people, obviously I've been through bad stuff in my life, but there's certain things I look at, I'm like, I'm still breathing, I still get to eat, drink, you know what I mean? I'm not going through anything that, like kids, I see kids around the world suffering, haven't got no food, no water and all that, no house to live in. And that's real pain, waking up every day to that.
So it shows how grateful you are.
Yeah, when you're training here, this temporary pain. So just give it your all. The pain's gonna go away when you finish the session.
Yeah, I hear that, man. I feel inspired, like just from what you were saying to me, because it's like, only things are temporary in terms of pain and stuff. I don't know if you want to mention it to me, because you were talking about like someone wanted to call you out. A certain someone wanted to call you out. Like, if you wanted to mention who it is who wanted to call you out.
The thing is, people always leave comments on my page going, when are you going to fight? I don't want to fight.
Okay.
I'm a teacher.
Teacher.
I like that term.
Yeah.
I'm a teacher, and that's my passion, and I'm trying to get my fighters to the highest level, But, when you're surrounded in this influencer boxing stuff and some people talk, like Anthony Taylor, who called out my brother, then he called out me and said I'll fight them both on the same night, and then this and that. It's good that I am keeping myself in shape.
Because like
you never know.
Because like you said earlier, you've had a whole bunch of experience over the years. So like, if you are to step back into the ring, you'd be like, okay, Anthony, this is what's going on.
Yeah, just a one night only.
Yeah, so it's like a special appearance. It's like with the Undertaker in WWE, it's rare appearances
exactly.
now.
WrestleMania.
Yeah, exactly. So you be the WrestleMania in that sense of the word then.
Yeah, actually, when Pineda boxed, I was like, damn, that'd be a good ring entrance for me. Yeah.
Did you want that? Did you want that entrance initially?
Like Undertaker and all that.
With the gongs and everything.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
That was clearly best entrance in the night.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah,
I loved it. And I'm happy for him as well because of where he's come from and stuff like that. So yeah, man. And Anthony Taylor is a cool dude as well.
Yeah, so he is. Yeah,
I respect his hustle and his grind, man. The way he's always managing to get fights with everyone.
Yeah, he's hustling, man. He's hustling. He
so.
tells me he's always hustling, like, in any promotion, get anything. So.
And I respect people like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So even if people call me out, I used to fight. I respect anyone that steps in the ring. So.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting if, because I mean, following that, like, as well, like, I saw a story that with regards to Salt Papi, that if the setup between Salt Papi and King Kenny were to happen, you said, why not make it interesting, and I'll go fight his coach as well.
I mean, that was just banter.
Oh, okay.
But when you banter in the influencer world, people literally take what you say.
For gospel, right?
You know what I mean?
Got it.
And to tell the truth, it wouldn't be fair if I fought Salt Papi's coach.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because, there'll only be one outcome, so.
Okay, I hear that. So, I mean, firstly, congratulations on getting the commentary for Floyd Mayweather versus Aaron Chalmers. When I heard that announcement, I was shouting. I was like, yes, yeah. you got this opportunity. So, because I saw your story that because you were watching Birbatev versus Yard.
Yeah.
And you were saying that for the commentary they were a bit biased towards Yard. Yeah. So for you, like, obviously, because you admire Floyd and you've met him, and obviously the opportunity with Deji to fight him in the ring, you've known him throughout his whole career, and you said that you know everything there is to know about Floyd. So you said you want to keep things neutral. So obviously with the excitement of doing that, how will you keep things neutral as far as commentating?
Just do my job, man, professionally, and analyze the fight.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll swing towards Floyd because I already know that Floyd's going to do a number on him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So naturally, a lot of my comments will go towards what the good things Floyd is doing. But obviously, the goal is to remain neutral, obviously.
Yeah.
So, and analyze it like a true professional.
Yeah. So when you got the call, like, what was going through your head at the time? Because obviously you must have had a call to say, like, we want you to commentate. What was going through your mind at the time?
I don't know why. When I get news all like this, I never get.
You never get excited?
No, it's like I just.
Is there no form of excitement whatsoever? Because obviously there must be something. But
there is, but it's like I take it in my stride. You know?
I hear you.
And it's something that I've wanted to do alongside coaching. Is not so much the commentary part, but analyst.
Right.
That person that's sitting alongside the main commentary and they come to me for my thoughts on what I'm seeing in the fight.
So then it allows the commentators to work on what you've analysed to kind of get their views out as well.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Whether that's sitting down with the headset on, or after the fight where I stand up next to the ring and I do an overview of the fight.
Okay. I mean, what do you think of Kenny's commentary as well? Because obviously he's done a number of these now, and I saw that you reacted when I think it was JJ gave the knockout to Temper, and it's like, Jesus Christ, like, you reacted to it. So what did you think of his commentary in general?
No, I think it was great because we're actually missing commentary with that kind of hype,
right,
in boxing. If you go back to the 90s, you heard commentary like how the way Kenny delivers it.
Yeah.
And that's because of passion, right? That's because you're showing your passion through what you're seeing live in that moment. You're not saying to yourself, oh, I'm a professional, I have to hold myself back and just, talk like a,
talk robotish.
Yeah. He's showing his true passion through the commentary.
Yeah.
And for the viewers, that's what gets the viewers out of their seat.
That's true.
That's true. So he brought electric. Yeah, he brought the excitement and the electric to that commentary.
Because I mean, it must help obviously being alongside like Tom Grisham and Wade and the last one with Dina Great as well. Like them as a commentary. There's what I like is always like a different personality. So obviously I feel like Todd is more like the neutral, and then some, like, obviously when the Pineda entries happened, they were all excited, and I was just like, it's nice to have that sort of balance of like, because in the WWE world you got like heel and babyface commentators. So I feel like with Kenny, it's like a babyface commentator. He's enjoying what he's seeing. So is that how you feel that when you saw his commentating?
Yeah. I think he's got a career in that.
Yeah.
So it's a bit like football.
Yeah.
When you got the main commentary, and then you got Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher, and they get hyper, don't they?
Yeah.
When there's certain goals, spectacular goals and stuff, it's just the same. He saw a spectacular knockout, so he's responding how a real human being should respond. But it makes it more exciting.
Yeah. So speaking of Kenny, I interviewed Ashley Rak-Su yesterday, and we were speaking earlier, and the general consensus, because we will go through like improvements on both their ends and how, in terms of how they're looking to face each other in the ring and stuff. And he was telling me that he thinks he's got the better jab, but he acknowledges the fact that obviously you're the top tier pedigree in terms of, your blood brothers, and you're not going to put Kenny in the ring unless like you know for sure he's fully ready. So hearing that, like, how do you retort to that, knowing that, because I've seen the training that's going on here. So I mean, what are your thoughts have you seen any of Rak-Su's training?
Yeah, I've studied him.
Yeah. So what do you think in terms of like his thoughts of him saying that he thinks he's got the better jab?
I mean, it's it's good to be confident, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you're going into a fight. So I don't, I praise him for his confidence. Obviously, my game is perfecting a jab, because everything works off of that.
Yeah.
So there's so many ways that you can use a jab. So many ways that you can set up your power punches behind that jab. So it's going to be interesting. Obviously, my brother's got a great jab.
Because I heard that obviously that Kenny wanted the fight with Ashley. So when that was happening, like obviously when he was speaking to you, he must have spoke to you thinking, I want to fight Rak-Su. Did you think in your head it was like the good choice to kind of work with Ashley for this next fight?
Yeah, why not? He's had a few fights now. He's southpaw, and we all know later on down the line who everyone wants Kenny to fight. Salt. He's a southpaw.
Yeah.
Kenny's fought 2 other southpaws as well. Yeah. So you get see where we're going with this.
There's a theme. But Ashley was telling me that he's orthodox.
Yeah,
in terms of approach.
Okay, well, we're definitely more than ready for orthodox.
Okay.
If he wants to be orthodox. But if I'm going on his last fight against Anthony Taylor, he was majority southpaw. So that what he's saying there doesn't match up with his last fight.
I mean, it's because I was asking.
He does switch.
Yeah. But he told me he can easily switch, but he feels he's more towards orthodox.
Okay, well, if he comes out orthodox, that's great.
Yeah,
even better.
Or it could be like a ploy. I don't know. Who knows?
But we're ready for it. Yeah, we've been working on both. We're ready for both stances.
Yeah,
you know
so because I know with you're always working on all situations.
We know he switches.
Yeah,
we know he switches. So it ain't gonna be like a surprise if he switches. He's ready for orthodox and southpaw.
Yeah.
Rak-Su, we respect him like any other fighter.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that.
I will never treat it, throw my brother into a fight where he's got the mindset, oh, this is easy, I'm just going to go through him, We're treating him like he is Jake Paul. And actually, we've seen in boxing, if you take opponents that you think that are not on your level lightly, they can cause upsets.
Yeah, I remember you saying in your stories.
Because you lose focus.
Yeah.
So we're 200% focused.
Yeah.
On Rak-Su. We ain't focused on any other fight than just Rak-Su. We know his game and he's tough, as he's shown he's got heart against Anthony Taylor by getting off the floor.
He told me that as well.
And finishing the fight.
Yep.
So we know, he's going to be right there.
Yeah.
And that will make it into an interesting fight. I don't want to give any predictions. Obviously, we win, but I don't want to give predictions how we win.
Yeah.
I just want him to go out there and just do the business. That's it.
Because I know that when I spoke to Kenny last, fight night, like he was telling me about improvements that he's been making himself, about wanting to work on angles more, and but he's established a good jab. So for you, I guess without revealing too much, but how would you feel that in terms of compared to from the last fight he's had to now, what would you say has been like improvements that you feel comfortable in saying about that? You feel like he's ready for going up the next stages?
Just overall understanding of the game.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's about. You can throw a jab, you can throw a right hand, you can throw a left hook, an uppercut, you can throw body shots. But one of the most important things is understanding the game. Understanding where your feet's meant to be, where your hands are meant to be at the right times, and all that kind of stuff. So it's just the small details. That's what we're improving on. You know what I mean? So without giving too much away, that's one of the most vital things about being in the gym every day, is learning how to understand the game.
Okay, so and it looks like, you know, because the last time I was here, like the training was sick, but even today I was seeing like training intensified. Like I feel like even with you like going through the training as well, it's like, you know, you're really pushing your elements to be like, okay, we're ready for anything at this point.
Yep, we are ready, and you know, those other fights that give Kenny good lessons as well. It's a bit strange to me that people always say that he hasn't boxed anyone, or why is he taking easy opponents when Kenny's had the hardest opponents.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that as well.
It's like they forget about those fights, and they've only seen DK Money, and now they're seeing Rak-Su. But DK Money had fights, Rak-Su's had fights, so number of fights wise, they're all around the same level. Whether if people want to say that Kenny's much better, then that's great.
Yeah.
Or someone that hasn't boxed long and they think he's better than that level, then that just shows you the hard work that's going in.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we have to be smart, because this is boxing, and you get hurt in boxing. People die in boxing.
Yeah, for sure.
So we have to do things the right way. So if you ain't gonna go with your first fight or your second fight going in with Jake Paul, unless they chuck 2 million at you. I guess.
I mean, if the bag is great, beyond.
But if you're talking about like progression, you know, you ain't gonna go in with those kind of guys. So people need to understand boxing a bit more.
Yeah.
Because even in professional boxing, you don't go in with the good guys.
Yeah.
For at least 10, 15 fights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the influencer fan base have to understand the progression that goes into boxing. You know?
It's like with even wrestling. It's like, you know, you don't just start as being champion, or sometimes there might be the odd couple of occasions that there might be champion. But for them, it's like you have to build up before you come the top champion in that sport.
Yeah.
So it translates the same as boxing, I guess. So I mean, with you know, because even when I was at Media Workout for Misfits 4, and obviously Kenny come through, and saw a little bit of a face-up between him and Salt Papi, you know, and everyone, a lot of the people that are commenting that they want to see that fight, but I know in your case that you, again, it's a thing of building up. So
both cases.
Yes.
Don't let their team fool anyone. You know, they are doing this exact same thing that we're doing. Building. You know, so don't want anyone to think, because but you know what? I don't mind Kenny's half of the audience getting the booing Kenny. You know.
So it's like split, you know, kind of split down the middle,
I said, I was messing around the other day. I said, maybe Kenny needs to learn how to do some breakdancing in his media workouts.
As in, like, you know, really like showboat.
Yeah.
Like, not too show, but enough to be like, okay, cool.
Do you know what I mean?
Be treated as like a heel. Like, you know, in the WWE world, it's like.
Because Salt Papi is that, look at his opponents that he's been in with.
Yeah.
You know, I thought Josh Brockner would be the one that gives him a little test.
Yeah.
But he was hesitating to throw a punch.
Yeah.
But if you take Josh Brockner out of the way, who has he boxed? He ain't boxed anyone. You know what I mean? So if you take Kenny's fights compared to Salt Papi's fights, Kenny's been in with the harder opposition. You know? But for some reason, they're talking about Salt Papi like he's Floyd Mayweather. You know what I mean? But he hasn't had someone that's really throwing punches at him and really going for his soul.
Yeah.
You know? So,
because obviously Andy Wolski was only 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And the last.
And he ain't a fighter either. Yeah. Andy Wolski.
And then Hallow Ham. I mean, obviously that was his first fight.
Yeah.
So.
And he's still learning as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
But I think in general, like everyone in the influencer scene is having to build up anyway, unless like, you know, being the main eventers, like say the JJs, the Dejis, the Jake Pauls, Logan Pauls. Like, you'd have to build up anyway to build to that spot.
And I get it. It's influencer boxing. You know, people want to see certain people against certain people. You know, but for me, you know, my interest is my fighters first and foremost, and their
100%.
progression. I don't really care about money's great,
Yeah.
but I want to see progression. It's my profession, you know. I want to look at them and be like proud of, you know, what they're doing and how they're progressing.
Yeah.
Not proud of the money they've earned, you know.
But the progression they made in the ring.
Yeah, then the money comes with that.
Yeah, because that's an extra bonus with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you think of tag team boxing? I've been curious to ask you because
What, boxing?
tag team boxing.
Oh, yeah.
Because I thought you said it was like what?
Yeah.
I thought it was like, huh? Come again?
Yeah.
Yeah, but tag team boxing. You know, obviously Misfits announced it a few weeks ago. What do you personally make of that? Because I've been keen to ask you.
Obviously, I'm not a fan of it because you're going into like wrestling kind of territory. But what is the name of the promotions?
Misfits.
So it is what it is, you know.
Yeah.
Let them do their thing, you know.
Yeah. I mean, because obviously, like, you've known boxing all your life, and obviously, I know with Misfits, they're trying different things. I heard even Mam say about having a pro division, because it's interesting, because I know that one of your fighters, Martin Foru, you know, apparently, you know, Idris Virgo was calling out Kenny and Deji.
Yeah.
But you want to have, like, a match between them two. Which seems to be the right logical fight to have because of their records. Like, you know, Martin 8-0, Idris 12-0. Would you put them in like the pro division if, you know, Misfits have placed that already?
Yeah, on a one-off fight. Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Okay, interesting. So I mean, how's Martin?
He wouldn't fight him though.
Sorry.
He wouldn't fight him.
What? Idris wouldn't fight him?
He wouldn't fight Martin.
He wouldn't fight your pro boxer.
He wouldn't risk fighting Martin.
Why do you think that is?
Well, now he's in the influencer scene. He doesn't want to get made a fool out of. You know what I mean?
I mean, he did say he's here to stay. In that
exactly.
Like, yeah,
so
true.
if he went in with Martin, then that's gonna be trouble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And of course, obviously, like, you know, Swarmz has called out when he had his fight. He called out Kenny and Deji as well, because I heard you say that would be an interesting sort of fight to have as well. Like, is that something that you'd be keen towards as well?
I mean, Deji's at a point now of his career that, you know, if financially it makes sense, then that's what he's going to go with, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what people have to understand. Boxing is a business.
Yep.
And even if you look at Floyd and all the greats, Anthony Joshua was talking about money. You know, obviously the legacy is great and all that, but when it's all said and done and he's finished with boxing, no one's going to care about him. So he needs to be financially all right for his kids and for his family and stuff. No difference. So Deji's at a stage now where it has to make financially it has to make sense, and then that's what he'll go with.
Yeah.
If it swarms and it makes financially it makes sense, then great.
Yeah, because obviously, you know, I didn't get a chance to talk to you about this. Obviously, you know, Deji versus Mayweather. Obviously, he put a punch to his eye, and have you still got the screensaver on your phone on that?
Yeah.
Oh, you kept it.
It's still here.
It's still there.
That's just, you know, being proud. That's all it is.
Yeah.
You know that, you know, you're in there with one of the greatest, and Deji managed to give him a little nick on the eye.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because literally now it's like, obviously he's had his fight with Mayweather, because he said to him before, after Mayweather, you shouldn't be afraid of anybody going forward. How does he feel now? Because I know that you put up some videos recently of his pad work of improving, because on your Instagram. So, you know, I could see even from the little clip that he's improved even since his last fight.
Yeah, because he's starting to watch more boxing as well. That's what I always tell all my fighters. It's not just about the training that we do in the gym. You've got to watch boxing, because you pick up so much by watching and analysing boxing. Yeah. And he's been doing that. Yeah. So, he's improving a lot.
And obviously, you know, can't be announced at the moment, but you know, what we're looking at as far as you know, fights for this year for Deji, in terms of, like, you know, how many fights is he looking to do, or, you know, is there ideas of who he might be facing, even though no confirmations yet? Yeah,
3 or 4 fights, because I'm just going on based on what he's saying he wants to do. Okay. So 3 or 4 fights, but I'm not sure when yet. Yeah. Hopefully, I think last time Deji said around about April, May, looking to fight, you know what I mean, maybe June or whatever, but we don't know. There's no opponent, there's no dates, there's no nothing yet. So what he has to do is just
Keep focused.
Keep focused and improve and stay in the gym consistently. So when we get that date, it's like, boom.
Yeah.
You know, 100% all the way to the fight.
And just a few final things before I let you go anyway, because I appreciate that you're a busy guy, so thank you so much for having me as always. You know, what are you thinking in terms of like Tommy Fury and Jake Paul? Because obviously that's been built up now, 26th of February it's looking like. Who have you got, and why do you think that person will be the person winning?
Yep, so I'm going with Tommy Fury.
Okay.
A lot of people are saying Jake Paul.
Yeah, it's mixed.
I'm going Tommy Fury because if you break it down like this, he's from the Fury family. He's been boxing since he was a kid. So fundamentally, the boxing is there fundamentally. The basics, the good basics.
Yeah.
Which is vital to any fighter. He's gone on a reality TV show. He's become a household name. Obviously, he's got money. Mm-hmm. So the fights that he's previously had, they're more like journeyman type of fighters, right? He's not going to get up for those kind of fights. He can win those fights in first gear. Mm. He's got money. He's a reality star. Everyone knows who he is.
Yeah.
He needs something that's really going to fire him up.
Right.
It's like someone that's a millionaire and they're sleeping in silk sheets, and then you go and fight someone that's below your level. It's not, it could cause an upset.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You need something that's going to get you out of those silk sheets to go running and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think this is the fight to do that, because he's carrying the Fury name. Mm. He doesn't want to let that name down.
Yep.
And also, he's the one that is, from a professional boxing point of view, is, you know, flying the flag. Mm. So he has to go in there and prove that a professional fighter can easily beat a YouTuber like Jake Paul. Because there's always that, you know, well, has Jake Paul, he ain't fought anyone. He ain't fought a professional fighter, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Mm. So I reckon there's a lot of pressure for Tommy Fury.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of pressure for Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Because this is his first fight against a real professional fighter.
And not just that, like obviously with the talks for the past year of JJ versus Jake Paul at potentially the end of this year, JJ was saying that obviously if Tommy were to win, he would want to face Tommy at the end of the year. But a lot of people would want to see the JJ versus Jake Paul fight. So yeah, I think where do you lie there?
Well, if Jake Paul loses, I still think Jake Paul versus JJ is still a big, massive fight to make, even if Jake Paul loses. Because if he loses, it's like, well, he lost to a professional fighter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But KSI ain't a professional fighter, and Jake Paul ain't a professional fighter. You know, under the license of the real professional organisation, which is the British Boxing Board of Control.
Sure.
Like my fighters are licensed with.
Sure.
You know. So that fight will still be big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To make.
And then in terms of like the undercard, should that be the case if it is confirmed that JJ and Jake Paul is happening, you know, for Kenny, for Deji, for any of your fighters, who would you, if we're talking fantasy booking, who would you want them to face being it on the undercard should it be the case? Have you got ideas?
If Jake Paul versus KSI happens, the perfect undercard to make, and I'll say it right now.
Okay, here we go.
Is King Kenny versus Salt Papi, and Deji versus Wasabi rematch, just so he can shut everyone up and prove to everyone that fight, he got lucky, Wasabi, because he was only training with me for 3 weeks for that fight. Wasabi would not be facing the same Deji. You know.
For sure.
So, Jake Paul versus KSI, Deji versus Wasabi rematch, King Kenny versus Salt Papi.
Ooh, I would love to see that personally.
Oh, chuck me on there.
Oh yeah,
Anthony
put
Taylor.
you on there as well. put you versus Anthony Taylor as well. We'll put it in there and stuff like that. And finally, how are you? The most importantly, like, you know,
I'm good, man. I'm good. So, you know, I'm opening my new gym.
oh, well, congratulations.
Yeah. So it's nearly done.
Okay,
So should be in there within a month.
nice. Have you got a location set for it? Well, I mean, obviously the location's set already, obviously, but
Southwest.
okay.
Yeah. So, and the idea is to make it a destination point. So everyone from around the world that comes to London,
Yeah.
they want to come to my gym.
Yes.
And experience it.
Yeah.
Because of the who's in there, the history, the love,
Yeah.
the passion, and I want to make it one of the best known gyms in the world.
Yeah. Is Rathbone your gym as well? Or?
No.
Oh, so this is where you regularly come to.
Yeah.
But obviously this gym that you're making up, this is purely
I work
yours.
for myself, obviously.
Yep.
But they've been good to me.
Yeah.
Hosting me here.
Yep. Every time I come here, it's always been a
But
blessing.
it's been long overdue.
Yeah.
You know, but the timing had to be right, you
Yeah.
know. Being long overdue. I need my own space, and that takes things to a whole new level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. A lot going for you, a lot going for your fighters. I'm always excited to see what happens. I wish Kenny all the best against Ashley Rak-Su on his next fight. Wish Deji the best for
Rak-Who?
You said it. I mean,
We'll see who he is on March 4th. On March 4th.
But generally, I'm looking forward to everything.
No,
that's going on
but
for
yeah,
him.
I'm glad he's well and he's training hard. Bring his A game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's have a great fight.
Yeah.
Um,
I know fight week will be exciting as
yeah,
well.
the fight week would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're relaxed. We're training hard. We're ready to go.
All right, man. Well, you hear it for the man himself. Always a pleasure to be speaking with you.
Thanks a lot, man.
Hopefully, new developments. Love to catch up with you again whenever that happens, bro.
No problem.
Thank you so much, man. As
Thanks
always.
a lot.
Jay Bills, Media Spotlight UK, Daley Perales. We're in the building. We're out here making big moves. Brand new gym coming soon to a town near you. And we're out here. Peace.